Hello, 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 my fabulous humans. Dumelang, dumelang.
Hello,
Welcome to
hello.
Mail Say. Welcome to Mail Say. My name is Mqandi Motaung. I'm also known as your social and dating coach. And I'm your host for this feature that I run on my timeline every day where I speak to different men from different backgrounds, about different things that affect them life, sex, marriage, relationships, and so forth. Today, my guest, Tebogo, what happened to your name here? I had your name written down. Okay, it's fine. Today, my guest is Tebogo. Hi, Tebogo, all the way from UK, from the UK. Are you in the UK now?
I am in the UK.
Oh, okay.
Even though I mean, from East London, but in the UK, I think.
Uthatha umdansane, why we say UK?
Yeah, yeah, very.
Do you know that song, Yaga Casper? I think there's a line that says, Just toko sa lekgowa." Di-di-di-da, da, da. Do you know that song?
Yep.
So when you are eating stoko sa lekgowa, introduce yourself,
And,
please, Tebogo.
hi everyone. Hi, Coach B. Thanks ever so much for inviting me. I've followed your work quite closely since I came across you on Facebook, and I think the topics are really thought provoking at times, but essential, to have. Um,
Mm,
so here I am today, part of the show.
look
Hi
at
to you,
you.
and Mama made it. Hello to you and the viewers, of course. As you said, my name is Tebogo, based in the UK in Manchester, England. But originally, I'm from East London in the Eastern Cape, um, which I'm sure you guys know about. And I have been in the UK for, I think it's 16 years now, something like that, since 2003 anyway. And to be fair, I can't see myself going home anytime soon,
Oh,
doing
wow.
different.
What are you saying about us?
No, 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 nothing to do with you guys. But once you've tasted a piece of what I've tasted, sometimes it's especially with a young child now as well. Do I think it's best to raise my child here or back home? I think here. There's certain things that I miss about home, like the discipline, and all
Hey, you're
that, and
still
having.
introducing yourself. Don't go into that.
Oh,
Introduce,
sorry. Yes.
introducing yourself.
Yeah.
Don't get lost.
Um, it's as you mentioned in the previous post. I would like to call myself an aspiring writer. I do have a couple of books online, but we won't go into that now. That's a different story. Funny enough, they are about relationships as well. So
Is
it's a subject
it?
that
You must give
I'm
us
very
the
fond of.
links.
Yeah, but we'll get to that some other time. And I, in terms of my day 9 to 5 boring job, I am in the NGO industry. I've been working for NGOs now for the past decade, I think. It's just something that I'm passionate about. Like I think coming from Africa, where poverty is not constantly states. Poverty is when a child, like goes to bed, without a meal, and naturally, I just feel the need to involve myself in that industry where I can help,
What
other
happened to
people
your
that are.
phone? It's just a bit blurry. You're far. Oh, now I can see you. Okay.
Yeah. In a nutshell, that's Tebogo.
Hi,
Yes.
Tebogo. Nice to meet you. So today we're talking interracial relationships, and I'll tell you why I decided to talk about this. I want to talk about everything that affects us. Everything that we go through, all our experiences. There's just nothing that I want to leave out. From sex to everything.
Yep.
So, I mean, today we're talking about dating people from completely different backgrounds and what your experience with that.
I like how you said backgrounds because um, I mean we talk of when we think of interracial relationships or intercultural relationships, we always think of black and white, but there's so many other backgrounds and races and cultures out there, and stuff. And for me personally, first of all, I'll make it very clear: it's not a choice. No, I don't think there's any anything wrong with dating a black woman. Absolutely not. I grew up dating black women. It's just a matter of where I am, and what I'm what's around me. Excuse me.
What you're exposed
Um,
to.
yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've been unfortunate enough to live in areas where if you see one black girl, a week, you're like, wow, hello, kind of thing,
Even if she's not your type. Even
Yeah, of
if she's
course.
not your type, you're like,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, if you see some of the things that I've done, for in the name of a black woman, do you know what I mean? Like,
wow.
um, seriously, and work-wise, I'm the only black guy in the whole organization, that's made up of about 2,000 employees,
Mm.
so it's not necessarily a choice that I went out of my way to go and find a white woman now. At first, though, I'm not gonna lie, it was when I first came to the UK.
So
Um,
manje Tebza ushele kanjani because siyashela la,
uh, if I had a penny every time I was asked that
ushaya
question.
iplate wenzeni like
Okay, first of all, if I talk about my son's mom, for instance, just to make an example, she came into an interview, and as soon as she walked in, I saw the most beautiful smile I'd ever seen, and I was like, straight away, I was like, "You're mine," like straight up, in my head. Um, and obviously, she got the job, not because of the looks, no, she was competent.
oh, she was
But
interviewing with you.
I interviewed her, yeah, for a job,
Oh
yeah.
wow, and she got the job. No
She
coincidence
got the job, yeah.
whatsoever.
But I
Yeah,
always
no,
like to mention to everyone that it wasn't because of the looks. No,
no, there's
she was
no,
extremely intelligent. She was competent, and just happened
no,
that
we are not thinking what you're thinking. Don't worry.
people do sometimes, And so when it comes to shadowing, then yeah, a few months down the line, obviously I'd taken interest in her, and sort of like when you have how can I put it? Like you put an extra effort into somebody, that you like, isn't it? Naturally. And one day I was brave enough to invite her for a drink, which is quite hard because she reports to me at work, so people may think untoward, towards that. And I invited her for a drink. She said yeah, and I was like okay, cool. So went for a drink. A drink turned into a few dinners. A few dinners turned into come over to my place, for
Hey, they've
2 weeks.
changed you. So it's dinners, man. Tina says lento. I says dinners. They changed you. Ah, yeah.
No, maybe you we would have touched
Did you
upon the
have
subject,
to
but
adapt though to how like the whole process of just courtship with her? Did you have to adjust what you would have
yes and
usually
no.
done here?
Yes and no, because I've always felt that I think a little different to most of my friends. Anyway, even before I came here, I mean, from high school, I would save my lunch money. Every day I'd wake up early to make myself lunch, so I can save my lunch money until the weekend, and I can take my girlfriend out, on Saturday, kind of thing.
Mm.
So to me, it's kind of normal anyway. But at the same time, we're talking about a totally different culture and race and background here. So there's certain things that are done differently. So yeah, I did have to adjust. For instance, I remember the very first time I took a girl home to my mom, for instance, when my mom was still here in England. And I told her my mom's name, and my mom walks in and she says, "Oh, hello, Sheila." And I was like, "What? That's my mother. You don't call mom Sheila, you know."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ubizimama zalo Sheila.
You. I'm like, that's Auntie Sheila, to you. Oh, it's
Siyadelela.
you. Exactly. That's what I thought. But the mom has been here much longer than myself. My mom was calm. She's like, oh, no, come on. They just been like, no, no, not to me. They don't do that. No. So there are obviously different, um, 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 factors when it comes to dating back home and dating, here, more especially a white woman.
Yeah. Were you not a threat to the other boys, other white boys? Like, like how were you taken? Like,
That you know what? There's this perception that black men come into their country and they take their jobs, they take their women, And I always think to myself, if I came from 8,000 miles away and took a woman, mate, she wasn't yours in the first place. It's as simple as that. So, um, not every white boy likes the idea of a white girl going out with, a black guy. Definitely not. And to be fair, I don't blame them because, as bad as this sounds, but I despise seeing a black woman with a white. I hate that. I absolutely hate that. Hello, are you there? Coach B, you've gone missing. Hello? Are you still there? I might have to come out and come back in.
I'm so sorry about that. I'm not sure what happened. Are you here? Okay, I'm just trying to see how I show you. Uh, just give me a second. There you go. Yes.
Yeah, I'm back again. Hello.
So
Can you
you,
hear me now? Can you hear me now? Coach B, hello. Hello. Oh, sure.
the guys, how you
Sorry, you're breaking up big time. You're breaking up really bad. Okay, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but if you can hear me, I'm gonna log off and then back on again. Okay.
you're back. I don't know if it's you or me, but we'll figure it out. It'll come right.
Okay, I've just changed my Wi-Fi now as well, in case it's
Mine.
Wi-Fi. So
Case. So wait. Yes, we're talking about the other guys.
yeah, yeah. So I was saying, uh, look, obviously, no one wants a man coming to their territory and taking what you think is yours. That's natural. Um, it's just like myself. It sounds a lot biased, I know, but there's nothing I despise in life more than seeing a black woman with a white boy. I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Ha! Wait, now you don't like it, but when you're doing it.
Yeah. I know it sounds biased, but do you know what? Reasons for that. It's not even like a race thing. I'm probably the least racist person you've ever come across. But with that
Mm.
said, every time I see a white boy with a black woman, I always feel no black queen wants to cross the divide. The reason most black women cross the divide is because we've failed them. So every time I see it, It's not
So
about
when why
you.
did you cross it? Did we not fail you?
No, 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 no. Definitely not. I didn't have a single bad word to say about, my black sisters at all, to be fair. For me, it was just convenience, and availability. There was no supply. And I took it to provide, but
I
definitely
hope
not.
your wife is watching so she can dump you.
Definitely not a matter of being wronged, or no, definitely not. So for me, I always think, like, every time I see one, I always think another one will fail. So it's sort of like a dig at us, because I think, had we done her right, or right by her, she wouldn't be there. So yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
mm. What are some of the things you have to explain yourself about to white women as a black man?
Um, I was very lucky to have a very understanding person to begin with. But it differs. Culture is like, for instance, one silly thing. Um, let's take roles within the household, right? I once went out with this woman, white woman, obviously, and excuse me, and I like to cook sometimes. I'm not claiming to be Gordon Ramsay or anything, but I think I know my way around the kitchen, kind of thing. And sometimes there's a certain taste that I miss.
Mm.
Are you still there? Oh yeah.
I'm here.
There's a certain taste of home that you miss, and only I can do that.
Mm.
Or could do that at home anyway.
You
And
Mr. Raja.
because she knows I can cook, she now starts saying, like, "Let's have tens to cook," and I'm like, "No, I'm not gonna have tens to cook." And she goes, "Why? Like, this is not Africa, blah blah blah," and all that. And I'm like, I'm not gonna have make tens with my woman to cook. I'm sorry. I just won't. And look, it's not being a chauvinist or anything at all. I believe in a relationship there should be balance. There's certain tasks that as a woman you perform a lot better than myself as a man, vice versa. Certain tasks that I know that I perform better than my woman. Not that she can't do them, but naturally that's just a thing. So for me
Mm.
to have plans with my wife to cook, that's not what I'm used to. I've never seen my dad having tends to cook at home, like, and now
Mm.
suddenly, I've so I saw those things, and um, I suppose to them it's normal, but to me it's just not, and
Mm.
I'd never do it now. I'm very lucky with my son's mom. She takes my culture very seriously, and she's not a pushover at all, by no means, but she takes it very seriously. Like, she she's the woman in the house. I'm the man in the house, and I like how she's just taken it on board, and is really trying to be to make me not feel like I'm dating a woman from a different culture.
Mm. And then talking about what you've just spoken about now, Uti, she's not a pushover. Do you think that things that white women get away with that black women would never get away with in terms of
In what
uh,
way? In what way? I think you're getting somewhere
uh,
here, but tell me in what way?
in the ways that you possibly can think of? I can't articulate this any more than I have. Like it's just an open question. How you answer it is really.
um, First of all, I think yes, okay. But I blame men for that. I blame us for that. There's a way that, let's just take, for instance, dress code, right? Um, Sometimes as black men, we treat white women as trophies,
Mm,
so big you know,
mm,
and accept things that we won't accept on our women. Um, and if you see, it's almost as if they do us a favor, and I hate that. I'm with you because you are you, because I'm in love with you, not because of the color of your skin. All right.
mm,
Whether you black, pink, Chinese, whatever, you're still a woman. To me, women are all equal to me, regardless of
mm,
race and creed. And so you would see, you'd see Umbali wearing this tiny short skirt, for instance, going out to a nightclub, and it's fabulous, blah blah blah, because you're
mm,
Umbali. And then you see a Candice wearing the exact same skirt and you don't bat an eyelid, it's okay. It's
mm,
allowed. I think that's wrong. You know,
mm,
even this thing we call respect, and which, by the way, is open discussion what respect is in a relationship. But sometimes there's certain things or ways we expect black women to talk to us, or don't talk to us, but allow white women to do it. I've seen that a
mm,
lot with my black male friends here in England, where Lumdu bechola no say to last year, and
mm,
Usetu, there was a way that she could talk to him, not allowed to talk to him. Now he's banging a Sue, and Usu can turn around, and say, "Oh, you come and do this, blah blah," and it's allowed, and I think that's
mm,
wrong. That sort of like elevates white women, and I think there's nothing wrong with elevating a woman, but don't do it because of the color of the skin.
mm. Do you think white women are aware of that privilege? Ukuthi they somehow bathathelwa phezulu by black men or
They're not stupid, Coach B. They're not stupid. Like, look, um, for an hour, you know, for an hour, if you had a guy that you knew you could walk all over, whatever you do, he's gonna be yes, babe, yes, babe. At some point, you'll take advantage of it, wouldn't you? Because you know. I think they know. Yeah, I do think they know, and I think they do sometimes play on it as well.
mm,
Um, I can happily say with me that's never the case. None of my women, have ever taken um, advantage of me being kind to them. But then again, I don't treat a white woman different from how I treat a black woman anyway. So it was never going
mm.
to be a thing. Yes.
What are some of the negative social maybe attitudes that you get as a couple? Do you get any?
In England, no. But funny you asked that. Since I told you earlier, I tried to move back home back in 2014, I think it was,
Mm,
and I happened to meet a white Afrikaans girl
mm,
from Pretoria. I was in Joburg at the time. So I was going out with this girl, and because it's not a dumb thing over there, it's not as common as it is over here. I'm sure you can count the number of interracial couples in South Africa. To be fair, maybe things
mm.
have gone better now than it wasn't.
Especially
And
Afrikaner and
yes, exactly. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So I went with this girl, beautiful looking, kind, nice, lady. Um, Regardless of her being Afrikaans. And every time, my God, every time we went out of the house, you walk past and everyone is turning their heads. It was so annoying. Now, mind you, at the time, I've been living in England for over a decade.
Awusajwayelanga
And
i-rejection enje.
yeah, exactly. To me, it's normal. It's normal. Like, I don't wake up in the morning and look at my woman and think you're white. No, I'm not stupid to not know that she's white, but it's not a constant thought in my mind. Like I just see a normal human being. At first, don't get me wrong. At first, I was very much aware that I'm banging a white girl here. It
Mm,
was a thing. You know, but then you kind of get used to it. Like the whole sort of like um idea, of her being white, you being black, kind of like wears off at some point. So in England, no, I don't. I've not really had any issues,
a better experience, yeah.
no, 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 no. One time, long ago, actually, I think it was back in 2007 or 8, and I met this girl from Newcastle, and happened to meet a family, and I overheard her dad, her father, say to her, be careful, because these black lots, they get pregnant and run away. So there
Mm,
is still that negative stereotype towards black men that they're not responsible, when it comes to parenting and being good dads, which I hate, by the way, because there's thousands, if not millions, of great black fathers out there. I know, yes, some of us are not as good fathers, as we can be, but
mm.
that really annoyed me, and as a result, I broke up with the girl because I felt if your father has those views, then I don't think he'll ever accept me in his family anyway. So it's pointless even wasting my time or your time dating.
Mm. Talking about the family stuff, have you ever had any disapproval from family about from either family about you've never. So
Absolutely not.
your white girlfriends were always welcomed.
Absolutely not.
There's
From
never
my
been
side, it
uthanda
was
abelungu lo.
no. First of all, with regards to my family, my mom is the most liberal woman you'll ever come across. Um, Ekaya is cool and Skule like teasing her about she thinks she's white anyway. So it was never. I mean, it was my dad that I was a bit worried of because being like old school, proper closer man, ex-activist and all that. Um, But he was smart enough to understand that Okala, my girlfriend in England, 20 years after, democracy, is not part of what happened to him, back in the
Mm.
80s, kind of thing, yeah. And with the girls and families as well, except that one incident that I mentioned to you earlier. I've never ever had that issue. But then again, I don't go around meeting every girl's parents to be fair.
I was about to ask that. Can't do it. But it's not uncommon for white women to always show,
No,
like, I
it's
think they're
not.
too quick. They're too quick to take boyfriends and girlfriends home versus
It's
us. Tina, when you
definitely
do that, it means you're getting married soon, or
exactly. Like Ekaya, like having my sister's boyfriend come stay over. Ewe na Satana. Like it's
kanjani
a lot.
alaleti?
You know. you know.
It's common there. What's going on? My boyfriend's sleeping over, family
Man,
taking vacations with the boyfriend. You're like,
hey, when and that's very common here. I mean, I've been on holidays, in the family, it's normal here,
hey,
but
when you pull out, yes. You have seen it.
but
So
I
you
can't
would bang
imagine.
this girl, you would have sex, sleep in the same room, have sex, the parents are there.
Ngizalibuza, le nto mos ayikho Facebook wami ne?
No, it's on my
Oh,
Facebook. Oh,
okay,
you're not
fine.
gonna share it.
Oh no, because no wait, because something like my girl's mom, dad and mom are on my Facebook, so I have to be careful.
Oh wow, I was gonna tag you.
Do you know what? I'll tell you a story actually. With that question.
Ikhulume ngesizulu angeke bayizwe, ukhulume ngesixhosa.
Um, umzekelo ne, utata we medium
Butchery,
like now.
yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes like umzekelo, if we visit them, like for we go and spend a week there, and stuff.
Mm,
And sometimes he would he would insist about unyanam alale nabo and not nathi Rumi. You know.
mm. Ukuthi baniphe
Um,
space,
yeah,
ukuthi
thinking.
nibe
I
busy.
mean, that can only mean one thing, isn't it? But
Ukuthi
come
nibe
on,
busy.
guys, go into it. Yeah. So you do enjoy those privileges, but I'm still very uncomfortable with it myself. Like it's strange because of where I come from. Like, imagine my father
Are
saying
you
to my
always
sister's
careful ukuthi
boyfriend,
ungayenzi umsindo, ungayenzi umsindo.
you know, like those things, you know. And like even around the house sometimes, because Abelungu, I'm not gonna say are more affectionate. They're not. I think as humans, we all have that affection side, in us, but born are comfortable showing their emotions, and affection in public. It's normal.
Umuntu uzokubamba impundu,
So
agrabe.
exactly, that's exactly where I'm going. Sometimes she would like still just sonke like around the table or in the garden, and she would just like come on me and like starts hugging me and like I'm like sitting on the ish when we don't do this where I come from.
Bazothini? Ama-in-laws azothini?
you know.
I
Um,
can't
but yeah,
imagine.
to them it's normal. It's very normal.
Yeah, no, man, I can imagine. But tell me, and then what are some of the differences that you would have? Like, I know the food wise, your comfort food and our comfort food are probably different, Ufuni papa, ufuni mngqushu, ufunani, like it's just
Mind you, though, with that said, my son's mom cooks umngosho better than any
yeah,
umngosho I've ever
I,
tasted.
this one is
That I
taking the
guarantee
land.
you,
She's getting the land.
honestly, and
Mm.
not. Papa. she does it well, but papa papa. But like no woman has ever cooked better than my son's mom. Genuinely.
Hey, lo mntu lo usithathela ama-points mos. Ushaya umngqusho.
Because I think, if you're gonna make a relationship work, you've got to be able to adapt to your partner.
Yeah.
There's some things that I probably wouldn't have done, had I not met a white woman. That I now know that I have to be a little bit more like taking the fatherhood thing, into
Mm,
account. My dad has never changed a nappy. My dad's never had to wake up at 3 in the morning and do a bottle,
mm,
But now, I have no choice but to be so involved, in that sense, because
mm,
that's what we do, and I have to adapt to that, And really, I understand how exhausting being a mother is. Motherhood is the
mm,
most exhausting thing ever, emotionally, physically, mentally, and otherwise. So I just wish that most of my brothers, black brothers, could take a lift from my book, and maybe get because sometimes we think, Tina, being a father, money support, there's more
mm,
to come, in raising a child than just maintenance. Like
mm,
it's those little naps during the day, but yes, baby, no man, go and have a nap. I'll take the boy out for the day, kind of thing,
mm.
things that our parents didn't do to us,
But was that your idea, or was it something that you were forced to do because kunjalo kunjalo lana, like, or was it
Um,
like being a very involved dad, a hands-on dad? Is it something that ibizenzakalela nje, or like you were the circumstances sort of pushed you because the expectation was that you should be more, you know, involved?
um, I'd say a bit of both, actually. I say that because, first of all, um, I've always loved kids anyway. My nephews and nieces have been my kids since they were born. You know, um, and so just helping out was just a normal thing for me, but not as intense as it is now with my son. um, so I was kind of forced, but not by her, but by the situation. Um, Even though, I mean, with her, she just expected that I would step up anyway because to them that's normal. You know, um,
Mm,
but seeing her, first of all, she had a very hard labor, very very tough labor, and I was aware, I was there all the way, and so I knew that she's going to need more support from myself, and naturally, I offered, you know, um, I would. Okala, I told her, but I don't want it to work until I clean my son is 2 years old because I
mm,
could tell how exhausting this was going to be. So I said, okay, fine. Diego Pangela, I'm just Panamina, question watching. Um, and also, exchange like would be sleeping in Lily in the court, and it's 3:30 in the morning. He starts screaming. You know, one of us has to get up. You know,
mm,
if she's not waking up, then I have to wake up. You know, I have to go downstairs and make a bottle. Mind you, I have to be up for work at 6 o'clock. So I was just traveling to work like half dead every single day, kind of thing. So it was kind of like forced by the situation, but at the same time, I didn't mind it because
yeah.
that's, yeah.
Do you think there'd be a difference between dating a white South African woman and dating an England white woman?
Yes. Um, with the white South African woman, um, because of our history, with them, I feel like you both kind of like tiptoe around each other. You know,
Mm,
you don't want to approach one another. There's certain jokes you can't make. I would make black jokes, white jokes with my girlfriend in England. She would make black jokes, white jokes with me. A kind you can't
mm.
because oh no,
We have
apartheid,
not
racist.
healed. It's still
You know,
painful.
yeah, exactly. I understand. Yes, there is that, and also, um, it's less accepted Akaya for the black man to be with a white girl. So, Jay, it changes the dynamics of your life, Jay. Because some of your friends are not gonna welcome that black guy into the white society. Some of your family, your aunties and uncles, aren't gonna welcome Usiso, from Tembisa, into the Menlin mansion, and stuff like that. Whereas I feel like in England, it's just two people falling in love and enjoy it until they break up if they do.
I assume Guti, there are some amasiko wakho that you've had to let go of. You can't
Amasiko.
practice them. Yeah, you can't practice them there. Or how has it been? How has it been for you to sustain your traditions? Your
Oh,
if
okay, okay, okay.
if you practice any, like how difficult is it to like did you have to pay like damages, for example, because sumoshile umntwana abantu manje, you know, lobola, ukuthi umntwana masesemncane makakhala, there's a bad spirit around, so manje kumele you know these things that we go through. Have you had to?
Yeah, I do. I don't want to say I've abandoned any of my traditions or even culture. To be fair, I'm very cultured, by the way. And I made that very clear. In my relationships, like early on, I'm very cultured. This is who I am. You don't like it, I understand. It's not your thing. Feel free to walk away. But if you're gonna take me knowing that I do these things. Okay. Um. So, in terms
What things
of
are
my
those things
tradition,
that you do?
pardon me.
What things are those things that you do?
I mean, the main one will be umzekelo circumcision, right?
Okay, okay.
Um, there's no way my newborn son is gonna be cut with some scissors in hospital. Sorry, no,
So
never,
kumele
no.
entabeni.
Yeah, vele, you know.
Mlungu wabanye.
Yeah. I prepared her very early on as well, before the son was
Mm,
even born. Like this is what happens. Like there's something that I noticed that, by the way, like makes me feel so warm inside. Um, my son's grandmother,
mm,
like the way she researches about my culture all the time. Like she takes so much interest in my culture, and I love that. Not only it makes me feel very welcome within the
mm.
family, but also it gives me hope. You know, um, my son obviously grows up in England. I'm never gonna say to him when he's 18, "Ewe na yintabeni," by force. No, but I'm gonna be smart in the sense that every year my son is gonna have a holiday. Okay, he's gonna
Mm.
be exposed to that, and he's gonna want to do it because every closer boy, like dreams of going to the bush. We all do. That's like the ultimate, like prize, like being a
Achievement.
man. Yes,
Kuba
Um,
indoda.
yeah, from by daughter, machera zamtanda, and stuff, and I want my son to be very exposed to that, from now, like now, up until that time. But by the time that time comes, there's no two ways about it. He's gonna want to do it anyway.
So your answer to my
Um,
question is that usavile damages nakulobola. You've saved, ne?
oh no. All right. Okay. Going back to that. Sorry. I diverted for the best. Ilobolo kuqala, angishadanga. Let's make that very clear.
Okay.
People have been thinking that I'm married. I'm not married. No.
Kodwa mawushada kumele
Actually,
ulobole.
say again. Sorry.
Kodwa if uzomshada kumele umlobole.
I've made it very clear. As a proud closer man, I would never be satisfied just taking a woman down the aisle. Ipride yami yobuxhosa izonginyanzela ukuthi ngimlobole.
Mm.
Obviously, ilobola yam will be different from ukulobola
KB.
Nonyondi,
Uh,
KB, yeah, Um, but I still want it to be a thing. I still want that part of my culture to be recognized. I've spoken to them as well. They also know it was going to happen. And also, actually, I was at home in December.
mm.
My son's mom is a vegan, right? No, a vegetarian trying to turn
Your
vegan.
son.
My son's mother,
Oh.
yeah, she's a vegetarian trying to turn vegan. So you can understand her
Hey,
um
nyama bakithi.
feelings around exactly. but lo muntu kusafuneka adle utsiki, you know.
Mm, mm,
Um, I made it very clear to her, but angisoze mina ngikushade if utsika umdlanga, ne? Or at least
mm,
because so when I went home in December, I spoke to my elders Akaya, and told them the situation. Like, look, Lomundu, should I decide one day, she's vegetarian, she doesn't eat meat, so ngatwa. And I go to no, that's fine. We'll still do the tradition,
mm,
bamlingis and stuff, and we'll speak to the ancestors, what's in it, but we'll still do the whole process as it should be, just that she won't
mm,
have to chew on meat, something as that.
mm,
Which gave me comfort because mnasoze benomfazi ungadlanga dziki. Come on,
mm,
a closer man, no, I can't allow myself to. No.
mm. And
And so as for damages, no, unfortunately,
you've
that's
saved.
that's the one thing I was very happy, to accept.
Good deal. You're like, good deal.
Like when she fell pregnant, for instance, I remember it took us quite a while actually to tell the parents. And one day, um, and this was December 2017. I was very smart. I think she was around 3 months pregnant at the time. The day before I flew home for Christmas, we invited her father out for dinner. Had dinner, watini and stuff. Nice night. And just before we left the restaurant, her and I are texting each other like, "You tell him, no, you tell him, no, you tell, no, tell him, no, you the man, tell him," kind of thing. In the end, I just just like, "Papa, listen, she's pregnant," and he was shook on his face, but he took it well actually. He took it very well. And I knew I was going back, flying out to South Africa the following day anyway, so I was running away from it.
Mm,
And the only thing he said, instead of damages, he said, "I'll give this my blessing only if you promise to marry my daughter before that
mm,
boy turns, before your son turns one." And
mm.
I was like, well, at the time I had no choice but to promise, so I said, yeah, I would, even though we're still not married now. My son is almost 2 now, and we're still not married. So.
Yeah. And then, in terms of religion, did you not have uphuzani kaloku thina we're not allowed utshwala la. Are you drinking alcohol?
No, I'm actually having a squash, but my fridge is full
Mm.
of beer. And
Oh
my table is full.
wow, I have one on me. Just for
It's
me. Not on me,
now,
for me.
we are allowed to drink here, so.
So yes, I was asking about religion, Ubuti, were there some differences there, and or were you just not one of those people who didn't go to church and
No, I come from a Christian family, so does she. Funny enough, her father is a priest. um, So, very Christian family, and so am I. So it was never an issue at all.
okay. And then what are some of the stereotypes that you've had to deal with, if any? Not attitude per se, but just some stereotypes like
What, from society or from her?
from everyone, society, her, and
From society. I mean, first of all, like I believe so much in love and romance. Two people getting together. I think life is the most beautiful thing. You know, two people together that want to be together. Um, but most people feel or would assume that you're with somebody because umlungu, you know,
mm,
and I hate that. I really hate that, because there's so much more to
to
my
a
woman
person.
the color of her
Mm,
skin. I think she deserves a bit more
mm,
respect. You know,
mm,
not just because she's white, just any woman. And also with them as well.
mm.
Kunela perception yoba black guys party, you know.
Yeah, I was about to ask you that. I was kahle kahle bengiyalapho uma ngibuza lo mbuzo lo. It's just that it decided to stop halfway ukuthi did you have to over did you feel the pressure yokuthi yazi like Let me just
Like,
represent.
look,
Let me.
listen, not gonna lie to you. Like, it, it does annoy me just an extent because also with me, I think there's so much more to me than just the size of the package.
Yeah,
Like
but I'm sure naye
really,
bayambheka but lo
very,
oh,
very
udla
kakati,
udla udla strong, udla rough.
So yeah, some people have that perception, which I'm totally against personally. I think it's wrong. Some men see it as a compliment, and I think personally I think it's degrading. There's more to me than what I'm carrying. Um, I offer something in a relationship than just a size. Yeah, that's the way I
Mm.
say it.
But use
Yeah.
it if it's there, use it. These things help. Eh? And then about parenting. Do you guys, your idea of parenting, was it the same? Was it different?
I think Christina's way of parenting is different from anybody I've ever met. To be fair, like Um, listen, she's an amazing mother. She is an absolutely amazing mother. And
Mm,
if I was to go back now and choose my son's mom again, I would choose her again. To be fair,
mm,
um, I do think sometimes she's a bit too much. Like, look, I I kind of like the dynamic of our parenting style because one, she's a mother and she's
mm-hmm,
a very soft mother. She's a very loving mother. And
mm,
remember, we're raising a boy here. You know,
mm,
and where I come from, boys are raised in a certain way. I want my son to show emotion. Don't get me wrong. I want my son to
mm,
cry when he feels pain, whether it's emotional or physical.
mm,
I want my son to cuddle his mum when he feels like cuddling his mum. And I
mm,
think that's what's lacking in society. That's why you've got so many angry men in Africa because we're not allowed to show emotions. And now, when I
mm,
finally burst, like I explode, so I
mm.
want my son to be affectionate, yes. But at the same time, when my son like hits his head on the wall, don't be crying like some little girl. Yeah, come on, you know. So
Iba indoda. Yabona inibulele le iba indoda.
like most of my arguments with his mom are about him. Um, but funny enough, though, sometimes when she tells him off, um, yes, and I find myself playing the soft parent.
Mm,
You know, yeah. So no, man, I think we just our styles of parenting are fitting very well. It's like good
okay.
cop bad cop, yeah.
But the way that you were raised and the way that you're raising your son, is there a huge difference there or
A little bit. I wouldn't say huge, but a little bit, yeah. Mlenkule koloni, like closer boy. Do you know what I mean? Like, um, man doesn't cry. Like, my dad was a man's man. My dad, and he wanted me to be tough. You know,
hmm,
um, if I came home, with a bruise and he finds out about I've been fighting, he'd want to know who I was fighting, and I'd be excited about my dad's going to beat him up, and he'd call him over and he'd lock us in the garage and say fight, you know. So that was his way of making me like a strong boy, which I
mm,
now look back and I appreciate. But with my son, I do believe that I'm a little bit more soft. Um, I don't know if it's because of being in England or raising a white woman's child. Um, and yeah, Abelung are very soft when it comes to children, very, very soft.
mm,
um, so yeah, maybe part of me is because of that. Or maybe it's just that I just believe that this is the best style to raise my son. I don't know.
mm. But as a partner, did you have to soften up as well? Did you have to bring more of yourself, more softy back, or then how did you have to change as a partner?
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yes and no, actually. I say yes and no because I've always, like I said to you earlier, I've always felt that I was a little bit different. Look, I come from a family of just girls. I'm the only boy at home. You know,
So
so
you've
naturally,
always been in softy.
yeah, I've always been a very big softie, in Ikaya, but I was always like very hard out of the streets. Like I didn't want people. It's almost as if I didn't want people to look down on me and think I'm a softie because
Mm,
the Macheras Ikaya. So I felt the need to be too
mm,
rough on the street, but too soft Ikaya. It was hard to find the balance.
mm,
And with regards to her, like for instance, I'm not gonna lie and say I don't cuddle more now than I did when I was at home.
mm.
Um, um, Even the way I show my affection, kind of thing. I don't remember walking down, you know, um, Oxford Street in East London, and holding my girl and just giving her a kiss, like in the middle of nowhere, like in the middle of the street.
Or buying flowers.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
oh, oh.
like those days.
For a
Whereas
group.
now,
Wow.
it's a bit different now because you have to fit in, isn't it? You know,
Hey, back softy. Hey, you're soft now, eh?
uh, you don't mind, I mean, yeah.
Look at you cooking dinners, holding hands.
Yeah, of
And
course,
then
of
what,
course.
one of the things that you're probably as well seeing is the music. Do you guys, are you now adapting to the music? Oh, you've obviously
No,
adapted. You've been there so long.
no, no,
I
no,
just find the
no,
music is so
no,
different. Like
no,
I
definitely not.
want
No,
my
no.
Sunday jazz, Sunday this, R&B.
Sunday, Metro FM Sundays,
You
get paid
know,
Sundays. Yeah,
guess what, Shah?
Sunday,
Yeah,
Metro
go.
FM, get
It's
paid.
wrong.
No, no, no. She adapts very well to my style, my culture, my everything. Yeah? Um, Fridays. Well, before my son was born, when we were still young and happy and free and, had all the money in the world, um, we hardly ever went out. Like we'd finish work, we'd go and get booze, we'd come home, and we'd have our two-man parties at home like every single Friday. Very rarely we'd go out. And the music on the stereo was almost always SA music. Like she adapted so well because she knew that's what made me happy. She wanted to stay at home more, so I was giving her that. But I wanted to listen to that music when I'm at home, so it was a compromise kind of thing.
Yeah, but I'm sure you don't know how to dance now. You don't know our moves. We've got new moves now, you know. We've got new dances, you know. Asashaya botwalatsa when uhambe la shaya itwalatsa. Sekushintshile manje. Sekunevosho.
KB, it's no secret that I've always had two left feet, so
Yeah, that's your excuse.
it's nothing new. It's nothing
And
new.
you know, lastly, before what are some of the things that for somebody who's going into their first interracial relationship, what are some of the tips that you'd give them, or some of the things that you would say discuss prehand, or like what are some of the things that they should look out for?
First of all, ask yourself: are you going into this because you want to taste, the other side, or because you met a woman or a man and you like them for who they are? One thing that I am always against is people that go into relationships because of who you are, because of how you look, or what you have, instead of the real love and affection for a person. It never lasts. And some of us come from different cultures, and backgrounds. Those things, never forget who you are.
Mm,
Never sell your soul for a bit of, pink ass. Don't do that.
mm,
Who you are is who you are. If this person loves you, they will love you the way you are. There's certain adaptations of you, obviously, in any relationship that you have to make, whether we're both black or we're black and white. There's certain things that people do differently, naturally. Um,
mm,
so those things should be put on the table. Like for instance, when I said to my son's mom, "Look, Unyanam, when he turns 18, also end up that was not debatable.
mm,
Unyana wami uzokwenzelwa imbeleko ekhaya because that's what we do when we have children. Sibenzele imbeleko, we slaughter, sibenzele imbeleko. That's part of my culture. That's never going to
mm,
change. So don't change who you are. but address your differences because we are different. Well, there's no two ways about it. We come from two
Mm,
totally different worlds.
mm.
Black and white. You come from two completely opposite worlds. So, for you to coexist, you have to accept those differences and compromise.
Yeah.
Compromise. Lando iti indoda ayiti indoda ayiti. That thing is not going to help you in any way, shape, or form. For instance, when I say Kaya, I don't want to cook. And it's in the indoda, I won't cook. No, DT. Personally, one of the things that I love the most, Mzanam, is coming home from work, and opening that door, seeing my woman and my child, give both of them, a hug and a kiss, and smelling the beautiful, nice beef on the stove. You know, I like when my woman
There's
cooks
a
for me.
disturbance, like you're buffering.
Hello, hello, KB, hello,
Oh,
hi.
Tebogo, there's a horrible buffering. Like I think
I'm gonna go out and back on again quickly.
oh no, I lost Tebogo, shame, but understandably so. Tebogo, thank you so much for making time and honoring my invite. Thank you for all the chats today. It was interesting. It was very nice. I'll put on my timeline where people can find you. Please inbox me details yokuthi bangakuthola phi abantu. And thank you so much for everyone else who watched today. Thank you guys. Bye.